Hello, students. Today's topic for the lecture is biological classification. So before starting this lecture, let's know what is taxonomy. The taxonomy is the science of naming organisms, that is your plants, animals, protistas, fungi, and monorans, and assigning them to groups. This is what we are going to do in this system of classification. This tends to be guided by evolutionary relationship. While knowing the biological classification, we should know the two important features. They are classification systems assign a universally accepted name to each organism, and organisms are placed into groups that have real biological meaning. These two important features here gives us the definition of biological classification as well, which is the process of grouping together various organisms according to their similarities, dissimilarities, and phylogenetic descent, and is known as biological classification. There have been various attempts to classify organisms. The earliest was done by Aristotle. I'm going to write the name here and then we will move ahead. So that you guys will remember this. Aristotle. Fine. Moving ahead, there was another great scientist who gave us a very important classification system. Linnaeus. Many of you might have heard the name. He was the one who gave two-kingdom system of classification and divided the living organism into kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia. Moving ahead was R.H. Whitaker, another scientist who proposed the five-kingdom system of classification, which was very well accepted and these days are commonly found in the books. He classified organisms based on cellular structure, complexity, mode of nutrition, phylogenetic relationship, and ecological role performed by them. These groups, now let's move ahead into the classification groups, which is arranged in order from the largest or most diverse to smallest or the least diverse. These are kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. There is a quick trick to learn this. You can remember the classification system like kids play catch over Farmer Green's shack. The first letter of each word denotes the order. K stands for kingdom. Play here stands, the play, P in play, stands here for phylum. The C of catch stands for class. O from over denotes order, and F of farmer denotes family. The green's G will give you the name of the genus, and the shack S will tell you about the species. This is the memory trick which we keep in mind to remember the order. So there are some information about each classification group. Like the first one, the most diverse is kingdom, which is defined as the group of closely related phyla. There are 6 kingdoms: Plantae, Animalia, Protista, Fungi, Archaebacteria, and Eubacteria. For example, kingdom Animalia. The second one is phylum, which is group of closely related classes and include a large number of very different organisms that share basic characteristics. For example, your phylum Chordata. Can anyone tell me in the comment section examples of some organisms in phylum Chordata? I'll be looking forward to it. Next one is the class, which is group of closely related orders. For example, we can talk about class Mammalia, in which we belong to. The next one comes order, which is group of closely related families. And the example could be carnivora. Again, you guys can tell me about an example of organism that is placed in the order of carnivora. Moving ahead is family, which is group of closely related genera. And as an example, we can talk about family Felidae. Next come genus, which is a group of closely related species and have many common characteristics. Usually we, while denoting the scientific name, talks about genus and species in our mind. Genus Felis could be an example. The next one is species, which is population of organism that share similar characteristics and can interbreed. For example, we can talk about sapiens or species domesticus, which is also known as commonly house cat. Like I told you in the earlier about lineages, here in the naming system, we're going to talk about it too. Before that, let me just remove something. Fine. Sorry for the interruption. So, the naming system was developed by Linnaeus in the 18th century, and the system is known as binomial nomenclature. What is binomial nomenclature? Now, we should keep in mind that it is very much important. Each organism here is given a two-part name. The first part is the genus name, and the second part is the species name. Like I said earlier, these two are kept in mind while denoting the scientific name to a species or creature. The format of the two-part scientific name involves the capitalization of genus name, and we do not capitalize the species name. Both names are written in italic and when typed, but when you write it on a paper or during your examinations, I know you guys cannot write it in italics. So we write it in a normal handwritten note or handwriting and then underline it. Before we move forward, I would love to have some questions for discussion. Here you can look on the screen that the scientific name for a daffodil is being given in a correct order of Plantae, Anthophyta, Monocotyledonei, Liliaceae, Amaryllidaceae, Narcissus, Pseudonarcissus. Now, can anyone tell me in the comment section what is the scientific binomial name for the daffodil? Binomial name. Here you can see Narcissus, Pseudonarcissus, which are two word combined for a binomial name for daffodil. If you remember the order we talked about of kingdom, phyla, class, order, you can easily tell me what is the family name of the daffodil. Remember the order, and then what is the phylum? In the comment section, I would be looking for the answers.